It is an honor reserved for an elite group of individuals whose extraordinary contributions to UC Davis have changed the face of the campus and, in many cases, the world. Winemakers Robert and Margaret Mondavi, astronaut Steve Robinson, former President Bill Clinton, and now UC Davis Dean Emeritus Charles Hess.
Well, I started out growing up in the agriculture, in the nursery business, and went to Rutgers to study plant science. And with the idea I would go back and join my dad's business. While I was at Rutgers, I got involved in some research and really enjoyed it. Then I won a fellowship to go to graduate school and went to Cornell, and that was it. I was in academia.
I first met Charlie when he was introduced at the Chancellor's reception as our new dean.
I was a graduate student at Purdue University, and he was an assistant professor.
Charlie was dean here while I was Secretary of Agriculture in California.
I was chair of the Animal Science Department, and he had agreed to come out of retirement.
I had heard of him as sort of a larger-than-life figure on the UC Davis campus.
I thought, well, you know, if I want to be in agriculture,
I should really go to the state where agriculture is #1.
California.
As well as a #1 agricultural university.
So there was this and sort of an older land grant feel going on, but there also was a lot of innovative new technology being developed.
And it was probably during that time that people really became aware of what was going on here at UC Davis.
We don't just need more classes, we need a place where we can, you know, work and have a farm.
There was skepticism as to whether this was really needed. I said, no, I think this is something that we really need, and the students want it, and I think we ought to provide it. We were involved in this because there was more and more concern about the impact of pesticides on the environment.
We got the notion that it would be a good time to go to the legislature and get some special monies. Jerry Brown was governor at the time and took it to his staff, and they said, oh yeah, they loved it.
Now it's just a natural part of agricultural operations. But one of the things that this project did was produce manuals that growers could have for each crop. And it had, you know, pictures of the insects and how to control them, various strategies they could use. And these really became sort of a Bible.
Charlie kind of led the transition here into the very strange combination of biotechnology and sustainable agriculture.
I wanted that interaction of the disciplines between the people who really knew the organism, the plant or the animal, and the scientist who had the skills to manipulate the genetic makeup of them.
He was a pioneer in setting the goals and values that guided us forward then and guide us forward now.
And it is an honor to present you the Charles E. Hess Community Service Award. This now moves into the Washington scene.
Charlie stepped down as dean in 1989 and then went to Washington, D.C. to be the Assistant Secretary of Science and Education at USDA.
That was a very nice experience and very satisfying, in which we launched what is called the National Research Initiative, which provided additional fundings for research on a competitive basis.
When we returned to UC Davis in 1991, he was working in international programs.
Every time when they needed somebody in a pinch, Charlie stepped right up.
And then as a special assistant to the provost.
Charlie's one of those individuals that always says yes.
Returned in capacity of chairman of the Department of Nutrition.
Chancellor Katehi asked if I would be interim Vice Chancellor for Research, which I did for a short period of time.
He's been very involved in the Retiree Association, the Emeriti Association, and that's Charlie.
He's
Also a bit of the ever-ready bunny. I mean, he just goes and goes and goes.
Had this spectacular failure of retirement several times, not once, several times.
Charlie gets an F in retirement. He gets an A for everything else.
I did retire, and I had to stay away from campus for a month, and then I came back as Director of International Programs.
So you were retired for 1 month?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
You did fail retirement.
He has gone to retirement multiple times. And then we see him back on campus, of course, and we love to see him back.
In his life as dean, he was quite famous for barbecues, massive barbecues with chickens that were on a rotating grill.
He had a system where he could put on a barbecue chicken dinner for 100 people in a heartbeat.
We did lots of things together, but the one thing that you could always guarantee we were both going to enjoy it was playing squash. We just really liked it. And as busy as we both were, we always found time.
He's seen so much over the years, and he's seen where our university has been, and I think he's played a huge role in shaping the future and where we will be.
Because he grew up in a production agriculture environment, he understands farmers, he understands agriculture.
I think that was one thing he really wanted, was to bridge the divide, if there was one, between the university and the agricultural community.
Because of Charlie's leadership, the university has really contributed to the growth and success of the almond industry.
When people think of UC Davis, they still think of Charlie.
He clearly loves UC Davis with a passion and a vigor and a work ethic that is remarkable.
I'm very pleased to be a recipient of the medal. I was very surprised when I received the call from Chancellor Katehi. I hadn't ever thought of it as something that I aspired to. And so when she called, I thought maybe there was another service that she thought I could serve.
As much as anybody I can think of, Charlie deserves this award. He's just done so much for the university, number one. But more important, he's done it over the long term.
Because of what he did for the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences, because of what he's done for the campus, because of what he's done nationally and internationally. I mean, Charlie has just helped put this campus on the map.
If I had an opportunity to redo the career, I would not change anything.